Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adlina binti Mal Anan. My matrix number is 1812368 and my team's member is Nurul Aina Fakira binti Abdul Jalil. So today we're going to present on human resources practice in Malaysia and foreign country. Okay, so there is 6 content that we're going to present. First is executive summary, second is introductions, third is company background, fourth is comparison of human resources practices of Malaysia and Western companies, fifth is suggestions and recommendations, and sixth is conclusions. Okay, so now let's move on to our introductions. Okay. First, it is critical for managers to influence their subordinates, peers and superiors to exist and support their proposals, plans, and to motivate them to carry out with the decisions. Second, there is a growing body of work on human resources practices and organizational performance, which hold an important linkage between human resources practices and organizational performance. The third one is organizations have realized the importance of managing and directing their culture to ensure the highest level of productivity is received from it. Okay, thus, this study is to compare the best human resources practices between local and international company and analyze which practices is commonly effective to implement to the workers through the culture itself.
Thank you, Adlina. So are we going to continue the presentation with the executive summary, where for the first one, innovation and development, as we know, and in this era are now becoming a new challenge. And also, in this presentation, we will address the spatial human resource practices in Malaysian companies as well as Western companies, and we will also clarify the particular activities that businesses use within the organization. And also, we will analyze, examine, and compare Malaysia's unique human resource culture with Western businesses practices. And there are 4 that we are going to discuss through this presentation. Okay, for the first one, I will present about the company background, analysis, and comparison, where we have chose certain companies that we are going to compare, where we have choose 5 HR practices, where the first one is rewards and benefits, where we have choose Asia Airlines, and we will compare it to Hilton Hotel Corporation, where for the first one, Asia Berhad, also known as Asia Airlines, is a Malaysian low-cost airline headquarters near Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. And it is the largest airline in Malaysia by fleet size and destination. And also, the operates scheduled domestic and international flights to more than 165 destinations spanning 25 countries. And they have provide many rewards and benefits to their employees, but I will mention only 3, where for the first one, they compensate and they offer selected workers each year to get free flights to various destinations if they do well and they perform well in their work and also their job. And also for the second one, they also give their workers up to 90% of discount to go anywhere they want. Okay, for the second one, Hilton Hotel. So it is an American multinational hospitality business that operates and franchises a vast portfolio of hotels, and it is also known as Hilton Hotels Corporation. And they have given variety of rewards and benefits to their employees, where the first one, they provide a range of benefit and coverage to their workers, where it is called benefit options, where it is consists of dental coverage, medical coverage, and many others more. And also, they established program that is open to people from Hilton, named Travel for All, Go Hilton Team, Member and Family, and Trans Travel Program. So basically, the workers can invite, and also can the workers' friend can also participate in the program, where they can travel anywhere they want and they will get concession with that. Okay, and the third one is develop the Hilton HS completion plan, which is fully paid by Hilton, where they provide their workers, their employees with they will send them to further their studies, and they will pay it fully sponsored by Hilton, where if if the workers cannot further their study before they are working, so they will send them to get their certificate. Okay, to be compared between AirAsia and also Hilton, as for me, a Malaysian, I prefer to work in the AirAsia Airlines because I will feel more comfortable, more joyful, more happy to be working in my current condition, where I am used to Malaysian culture, Malaysian work environment, where we are Malaysian, right? So we will choose Asia Airlines to be worked with rather than Hilton Hotel, because as we know, Hilton is a prestigious company, so they are very well known to the world, and many people want to work there. But if me as a Malaysian, if I feel very small, I feel very not that experienced enough, I will feel that I will feel unfamiliar and also marginalized, and I am not familiar with their work culture, so I will feel unhappy to work. So there is a barrier when we want to work, we have to be happy like that, okay? Sorry, right? So basically, we have to enjoy our work in order to perform well and in order to get rewards from the companies, okay? And also, for the second one, we have choose training HR practices, where we want to compare Proton with Shell, where, as we know, Proton is a Malaysian automotive company, and it was founded to produce sell motor vehicles and also assemble associated goods. And as we know, they have produced many kinds of vehicles, such as Proton Saga, Proton Wajah, and many kinds of Proton vehicles. And also, the business is based in Shah Alam, and it operates additional facilities in Proton City Perak. So Proton is an acronym for Perusahaan Automobil Nasional, where it is in Bahasa Malaysia, and for the English, National Automobile Company. So they have two types of training. First one, conduct a 5-day training program for body and paint, where they want to expose to their workers how to body and paint the vehicles. And also for they also provide practical training facilities for the students, where they will invite or they will make them participate through the training, where they can't use it in the future. So basically, it acts as a whole. It acts as a national training, where all various ages can participate, can join the program. And also, except the conducted 5-day the 5-day training program is for employees only. Okay, so for the Western companies, we have chose Shell, where it is a British Dutch multinational oil and gas company headquartered in the Netherlands and incorporated in England. It is one of the oil and gas super majors and the third largest company in the world, measured by 2018 revenues. And they have one major training practices, where it is introduced as Shell Advanced Technical Program, SATP, where it is formal learning system for professional technician, and they are focusing more on female workers, where they want the female workers to be exposed to be teach on how to be a technician, on how to be a good technician, because as we know, a typical technician is mostly guy, right? So mostly from men. So basically, Shell wants female to be involved in the in this industry, because they don't want female to be left behind. Okay, so when we want to be compared with these two companies, so it cannot be denied that both Malaysian and Western companies have their own uniqueness in terms of training their employees. nonetheless, our opinion is more focused on the approach used by Proton, because it is, as I mentioned earlier, it acts as a whole. It acts as a nation training practices where students can learn, students can participate, students can join, and also workers. It is not closed to workers. It is open to other people also. And also, it is more comprehensive and unbiased compared to Shell, because Shell is more focused on female rather than as a whole. Okay, and as I have mentioned earlier, various ages including students can participate in program held by Proton just now. So it can cultivate their skills, it can give their experience. They get to enjoy the program where they will use it in the future and for the sake of the country itself. Okay, and for this third one, we have choose managing employee performances. And as for the Malaysia company, we have choose Ramly Food Processing, where it is formerly known as Perusahaan Burger Ramly Mokni Sdn Bhd, and it was founded in 1984 by Datuk Dr. Haji Ramly Mokni and Datin Haja Shala, which is his wife. And also they want to manufacture halal, hygienic and quality food, because at that time Malaysian people did not eat burger. They feel that that is not their cuisine. That is not national cuisine, so they don't really care. So they want to make innovation, and they have produced a halal, hygienic and quality burger patty. And now they have produced many kinds of food such as nuggets, drumstick, drumettes and many others more. And also they have 10 subsidiaries operating within the company. And also for them managing their employee performance, they consider employees to be a very important asset to the company. And Datuk Dr. Haji Ramli also said that he greatly appreciated the good thoughts given by his employees, and they will use it for the sake of the company if it is really good for the company. And also he said also that the company each year will send 6 employees to perform umrah. Okay, for this, when we want to compare Ramly Food with Pizza Hut Incorporation, where it is also known as Pizza Hut. Okay, and it is an American restaurant chain and an international franchise offering different types of services, pizza styles, and including sides such as these desserts, salads, buffalo wings and many other more. And there were over 6,000 Pizza Hut restaurants as of 2012, 8 years ago, in more than 5,139 outlets in 94 additional countries and territories worldwide. So they measure their employee performances within the desired culture texture, which they have created the Founders Survey, and it is held annually. And also they dedicated to hiring and create the best candidates employee. They have a good track record of their very best production, those at all levels. So basically they are very taking care of their employees, and employees will not left behind because they have good track of their employees performances. Like maybe I think they have good record of their employee performances. Okay, and if we want to be compared, the practices of Pizza Hut is more suitable compared to Ramly Food, because practices that have been done by Ramly Food is not that diverse and not so open to all employees. Why I am saying this? Because as example, okay, if in Ramly Food they hire non-Muslim staff, they hire non-Muslim employees, but they as I mentioned earlier, they only they will send 6 employees to perform umrah. But as for the non-Muslim, they cannot perform umrah, so they cannot take that for granted. So they will feel that they left behind, and maybe they will kind of prejudice there. I'm not that really sure. So basically it is unbiased like that, okay, because it is not act as a whole. Sorry, so I will be continue where if the Ramly Food will just give benefits to the Muslim employees, so maybe the non-Muslim workers will feel neglected. Okay, like that. So Pizza Hut is more their practice is more suitable rather than Ramly Food. So that's all from me. I will pass the floor to Adina. Thank you.
Okay, so next we move on to another company background and analysis. So for the leadership and management indicators, we choose Malaysia Airlines Berhad. Okay, this company headquarters are located at Kuala Lumpur International Airport. In August 2014, the Malaysian government sovereign wealth fund Khazanah National, which then owns 69.37% of their airlines, announced its intention to purchase remaining ownership from minority shareholders and delist their airline from Malaysia's stock exchange, thereby renationalizing the airline. It operates primarily from Kuala Lumpur International Airport and from secondary hubs in Kota Kinabalu and Kuching to destinations throughout Asia, Oceania and Europe. Malaysia Airlines owns two subsidiary airlines, Firefly and Maswings. Fireflies operate scheduled flights from two home base, Penang International Airport and Subang International Airports. The airlines focus on tertiary cities. Maswings focus on inter-Borneo flights. Malaysia Airlines has a freighter fleet operated by sister company Maswings, which manage freighter flights and aircraft cargo hold capacity for all Malaysia Airlines passenger flights. Okay, so let's look on the leadership and management that implement on Malaysia Airlines Berhad. So the CEO of the company is Izam Ismail. Izam Ismail is a very understanding leader to his staff. He prioritizes finding players with good communication skills while also looking for people with strong sense of purpose. He also focuses especially on three things: transparency, appreciation, and giving staff the ability to grow. Izham used a democratic leadership approach to his staff because he always listened to his staff and let them speak. This leadership style is the most effective because it allows lower level employees to exercise authority they'll need to use wisely in future positions they might hold. Izham likely will direct to his staff if there is any problem occur between them. Okay, for the international companies, we choose Emirates Airlines, Arab Saudi. Okay, the airline is a subsidiary of the Emirates Group, which is owned by the government of Dubai's Investment Corporation of Dubai. It is the largest airline in the UAE and the Middle East, operating over 3,600 flights per week from its hub at Terminal 3 of Dubai International Airport to more than 150 cities in 80 countries across 6 continents through its fleets of nearly 300 aircrafts. Okay, the leaderships of Emirates Airlines are based on the leadership styles of family. Emirates Airlines is democratic leaderships, meaning that other members of the company, particularly shareholders, to make the final decisions. And Emirates leaders are empowering employees. Motivations in their way to motivate their workers to do gladly to help the organizations achieve wonderful airline market success. Individual will respond differently under different situations. Okay, so for the comparison between the two companies, the local and international companies, Malaysia Airlines Berhad and Emirates use the same approach, which is democratic leaderships. It is because this leaderships is commonly effective to apply in any company. Everyone gets the chance to participate, ideas are freely exchanged, and discussion is encouraged. Although the democratic process tends to focus on group unity and the free exchange of ideas, the group leader is still there to provide guidance and power. Okay, so next we move on to employees recruitment. So we choose T-Life for locals companies. Okay, T-Life is Southeast Asia's largest lifestyle tea brand, and their mission is to always bring joyful experience through tea. They serving as a variety of beverages from signature pearl milk tea to coffee and smoothies. It is owned by a young man named Brian Liu, and he also the CEO entrepreneur of Loop Holdings, cuts a trendy figure in the dynamic company. Brian Liu is a man who loves to think out of the box. T-Life is for employees recruitment. T-Life is a booming food and beverages company in Malaysia, and it's owned by Chinese Malaysians. Okay, which is Brian Liu from Loop Holding. They sell a variety of boba drinks and a little bit of snacking. In a day, T-Life receives thousands of customers from teenagers to adults. They already opened 175 stores in Malaysia and will continue to expand the company to international, especially in Vietnam. Okay, they are looking for friendly staff and ready to challenge themselves, because working at TLF can be very tiring. The staff have to be tough, especially in terms of physically, because working there requires a lot of standing. Okay, for the international companies for employees recruitment, we choose Starbucks. Okay, Starbucks Corporation is an American multinational chain of coffee house and roastery reserve headquarters in Seattle, Washington. As the world's largest coffee house chain, Starbucks is seen to be the main representations of the United States second waves of coffee culture. As of early 2020, the company operates over 30,000 locations worldwide in more than 70 countries. Headquarters in the Starbucks Center, the company was founded in 1971 by Jerry Baldwin, Zev Ziegel, and Gordon Bolker at Seattle's Pike Place market. During the early 1980s, they sold the company to Howard Schultz, who, after a business trip to Milan, Italy, then they decided to make the coffee bean, start a coffee shop serving espresso based drinks. Schultz first tenure as chief executive from 1986 to 2000 led to an aggressive expansion of the franchise, first in Seattle, then across the US West Coast. Okay, in order to differentiate Starbucks from competitors for the employee recruitment, Starbucks used the employees, for example, baristas, to create the Starbucks experience. To have the right people, hiring the right people was Starbucks' requirement motto. The aspect that Starbucks look for in employees are like adaptability, reliability, and the capability of team working. Starbucks often specified the qualities that look for in employees upfront in its job positions, which allowed prospective employees to evaluate themselves to a certain extent. Okay, for employees, recruitment is very crucial part where the company must look on the employee attitudes. Usually, a company will find someone who will treat the company like their own. To compare, Tea Life and Starbucks coffee, Tea Life looking for cheerful and fun staff, while Starbucks is looking for professional baristas. As well as we know, Starbucks is a worldwide company, and for sure they are looking for well-prepared employees to work with them. Tea Life also expanding their branches to international. That is why the leader has to show that working at Tea Life is fun and worth a penny. Okay, so let's move on to suggestions and recommendations. So we have four suggestions and recommendations, which is the first one is employee culture. Second is understand the difference between human resources and administrations. Third is learn to adapt, and fourth is communications. So first one is employee culture, to ensure that the employees work in a carefully curated environment which suits their needs. Second, understand the difference between human resources and administrations. Needs to be a clear differentiations between the two sets of responsibilities, and ensure that the HR responsibilities are not seen as an afterthought. The third one is learn to adapt. The more flexible and adaptive the firms are, the more likely they are to survive. And the last but not least one is communications. Encouragement of communication is intensely important, as they make sure that ideas flows between all the departments. Okay, so this is the last part of our presentations, which is conclusions. So every organization has their own plan toward the success of the company. Put the right person for the right roles and understand the needs of the employees. Each new recruitment has to go to specific training, and they should get motivated by it. Once they got trained, then the employees will be the asset for the company. Ensure there is a teamwork, right leadership style and management style between the organizations. Okay, Boxels, 1995 contended that HR practices vary in different societal contexts, and non-best practice can be applied universally. Thus, it is suggested that organizations should define the desired performance outcome as HR practice are different according to the performance measures. So, giving their compensations and benefits training of staffs and leadership directly influence their organizational efficiency. These behaviors are essential metrics that need to be related to performance in order to achieve better organizational results. And thank you. That's all from us.